Does the Curs'd Ettin Runecaller use speed dial in Tides of Torment? Let's dive right into what makes the Runecaller different from the base version and narrow down what you're getting and why. Recruited for 1600 gold and 400 upkeep, so more expensive. On Ultra, the Runecaller comes at 11,820 health or 2,500 less. Armor remains 15, missile resistance 15%, spell resistance 25%, leadership a breakable 100, speed 39, charge speed 50. Melee attack begins at 60, 5 less, but each blow is magical attack for this version, a considerable change. Attack interval is still a coffee boosted 3 seconds, splash target size medium, so Knights of the Realm on down, and max targets damaged remains 7. Melee defense 35 is 5 less. Weapon strength 550 is 100 less, split base 300, and armor piercing 250. Charge bonus 35 or 10 less, mass 6500. The unit causes fear and terror and is a siege attacker, has Strider for no movement and combat penalties enforced, and Vanguard deployment. And then we get to the passives and bound spells. Having the same name is wrecking Total War stats, so these are in-game shots. Dual Personality Betrayer, when over 50% health, grants physical resistance plus 15%, and creates a 55-meter hex within which the enemy loses magical attacks, and any spellcasters have minus 10% spell intensity. I don't think that goes below 100%, correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll take some of the extra sauce away from boosted ones. Dual Personality Savage, when under 50% health, gives the Runecaller healing 0.1% a second, power recharge plus 20%, so half an arcane conduit, and 0.05% winds capacity per second, so more winds can be squeezed out if you have sufficient time at low HP. The bound spells are the Enfeebling Foe times 1, Flock of Doom times 2, and Doom and Darkness times 2. If you've never used them, Enfeebling Foe does minus 24 melee attack and defense on one target. These are bound spells, so non-overcast. Doom and Darkness does minus 16 leadership on a single unit, which can cause units to break that would not ordinarily do so, and free is free. And Flock of Doom gives you cheap, easy area of effect damage that has a maximum procs per unit, so it's ideal to hit a whole bunch of units in a blob at once. In the Redline skills, Monsters of the North once again gives melee attack and defense plus 6 at 3 pips. At rank 7 and up, Hulks of Death gives armor plus 12, weapon strength plus 12%, and ward save plus 8%. In the tech tree, Secrets of Taming gives plus 1 recruit rank and plus 4 leadership. Ever-Living Spite gives melee defense plus 4 and physical resistance plus 10% full time, which will stack with the passive for over 50% HP. Master of Beasts gives ward save plus 5% if over rank 7, and What Starts the War adds 20% missile block chance, 360-degree missile block for that block chance, ward save plus 10%, and battle healing cap plus 50%, so the Runecaller can more easily get itself back to 50% with the healing, and then inch above further with natural healing, which is snail's pace normally. But I assume it would be enough to get back to the original Betrayer passive, at least until it's hit again. So how do we use the Runecaller? First of all, let me just say it, rather than ask which one is better, just use both in tandem. They're both Strider and Vanguard deployment, and easily cover the other's weaknesses. There are other plans you can use, but no, don't worry about which one is better, just one is bashier, the other comes with its own niche uses. While it's nice to have half an arcane conduit late in a battle for any spell-using armies, the main use of the passive above 50% health will be to erase magical attack from enemies in a pretty generous hex, with the basic idea being similar to what the Lammasu can do for Chaos Dwarfs and what the Treeman can do for Wood Elves. That said, this seems to be the largest of these hexes. This is a Chaos Godsend boon to the faction because there are a lot of units that build up physical resistance just from Rage and Berserk, but stuff like Skin Wolves have it too. There's just lots and lots of stuff that brings it in the faction. Therefore, you want the advantage preserved, not lost as soon as you see anything that has magical attack like any demon in the game. it's a potentially enormous advantage, and even at 2500 less health on Ultra, it's not trivial to get the Curs'd Ettin Runecallers' health under 50%, and even once it is, actually killing it is a little difficult. And it has no fire weakness to go with the healing. Note that the Hex won't help against ranged enemies far beyond the radius, so it's not a counter to Sister's Doom stacks, but I'm sure you can still find uses. Anything further would overcomplicate it. Just get it where it's needed, and remember, it has magical attack too, so it has an advantage to foes weak to that, like demonic units. Take care, and have fun passing curses forward to your enemies.